Hi, my name is Heavenly Harris, and for this week, for the discussion about fundamentalism and modernism, I decided to focus on William Jennings Bryan, who I believe was a force of the fundamentalist movement. And as always, as Christian historians, we should be committed to being objective and honest in our historical investigation. William Jennings Bryan began his political career as a representative to Congress from Nebraska. He was nominated as the Democratic candidate for the presidency 3 times. Although he was never successful, his progressive platform helped him remain popular with many ordinary Americans. So much so that they called him the Great Commoner, and he advocated for things like direct election of senators and a national income tax to support his progressive policies. According to our textbook, Bryan always saw politics as a forum for promoting Christian morality. His political beliefs were very tied to his identity as an evangelical Presbyterian. He was passionate about standing up for underpaid factory workers and small farmers. Williams and Alexander mentioned one significance of William Jennings Bryan was his use of religious rhetoric and notes how religious themes gave legitimacy to the populist movement. Bryan's Cross of Gold speech was a good example of this. The painting here is a rendering of his famous speech. Even though Bryan withdrew from seeking elected office, he still believed in the importance of protecting ordinary Americans. This time, instead of from wealthy industrialists and corrupt politicians, it would be from elite secular scientists. Thus, he decided to take up the crusade of banning the teaching of evolution in public schools. In one of our articles this week, Hart distinguished Bryan from conservative theologians such as Machen, in that Bryan was willing to employ politics to advance his religious beliefs. Mark Knoll really helped me to understand Bryan's motives and willingness to mix religion and politics when he notes the sense of crisis that many fundamentalists felt regarding the teaching of evolution. Bryan and others felt like these teachings were corrupting our youth and trying to completely remove the influence from Christianity in society. In regard to William Jennings Bryan's legacy, I think that there's a few things to take away from it. First of all, Bryan began a debate over the intersection of religion and science that is still going on to this day. A 2005 study showed that religion is still the primary factor that influences a person's beliefs about evolution. I also find it interesting that many that disagreed with Bryan spoke positively about him after his death. I think this speaks to his character and intentions, and I feel like there could be a good lesson for us today in his example. I will end with some words from John Davis, who may have disagreed with Bryan on the idea of fundamentalism, but admired Bryan's passion for activism. He called Bryan an outstanding example of unflinching moral courage, and said that his virtue earned him the respect even of those who most profoundly disagreed with him. He was never content until he had discovered what he believed was the moral right or wrong of every public question. When this had been decided, he was unwavering.